So here we are again, another round of Harry versus William. Honestly, who can even keep count anymore? But this time, it isn't just about royal family drama. It's about money, image, and who's quietly setting the bar higher while the other spirals across the Atlantic. Prince William has just made a subtle but powerful move, one that's said to have Harry absolutely fuming. Remember when Harry and Meghan accepted millions in public funds to renovate their home, only to abandon it shortly after? Well, William has flipped the script. He's chosen to pay millions out of his own pocket to restore Forest Lodge, his family's new permanent residence, without taking a single dime from taxpayers. And let's be honest, if that's not a direct contrast to his brother's choices, what is? Let's rewind for a moment. Years ago, Harry and Meghan moved into Frogmore Cottage, a charming property many people would consider a dream home. But for Meghan, it reportedly felt more like a downgrade than a privilege. Soon after, they oversaw a taxpayer-funded $3 million renovation, complete with upgrades, chic finishes, and all the modern touches. And then, they left. Frogmore wasn't glamorous enough, the location wasn't appealing enough, and the interiors didn't fit their new California lifestyle. Eventually, they repaid the money, but not out of conscience. It was a move made under pressure after deciding to leave the UK entirely. Now compare that to William. The man destined to be king is covering the bill himself, millions of dollars, to renovate Forest Lodge, a historic 8-bedroom estate in Windsor Great Park. The place is far from pristine. The roof is aging, the windows are outdated, and the heating system is practically groaning louder than the tabloids. But William? He's handling it quietly. No fuss, no Netflix deals needed, just his own resources. And this isn't only about money. It's about optics. William is making a statement that being royal doesn't have to mean entitlement. It can mean duty, respect, and modesty. He and Catherine will live there without live-in staff, paying full market rent and raising their children in as normal an environment as possible. Meanwhile, across the ocean, Harry is spending millions annually on private security, not to mention the endless upkeep of his California mansion, koi ponds included. The contrast couldn't be sharper. Here's the part that stings for Harry. William didn't have to do this. The renovations could easily have been covered by the Crown Estate, standard royal procedure. But by shouldering the costs himself, William highlights every criticism ever aimed at Harry. Every time William takes the high road, Harry looks more reactive, more bitter, and frankly, more out of touch. Insiders are already calling this a PR masterstroke. William emerges as the image of a humble future king, while Harry, well, his narrative seems to be unraveling. William is not just restoring a house, he's carefully rebuilding the public's trust in the monarchy, brick by brick. Every nail driven into Forest Lodge feels like a subtle shot aimed across the Atlantic. And in this rivalry, Harry can't seem to win. No matter how many books he publishes, interviews he gives, or complaints he voices, the contrast keeps growing. William, the heir, is stepping into his role with poise. Harry, the spare, appears stuck in a cycle of resentment, lawsuits, and struggling media ventures. William's decision to fund Forest Lodge entirely on his own isn't about showing off wealth. It's about showing leadership. It's about preparing for the crown before it even rests on his head. He understands the monarchy's survival depends on relevance, humility, and public trust, values that he's weaving into every choice. The property itself needs serious work. Built centuries ago, it hasn't had major updates since 2001. From structural repairs to interior updates, it's an expensive undertaking. Yet William and Catherine aren't cutting corners. Catherine herself has reportedly been involved in selecting tasteful, elegant furnishings. Nothing flashy, just timeless and dignified. Quiet class, the opposite of extravagance. They'll also pay thousands in market rent every month. No handouts, no exceptions. They want George, Charlotte, and Louis to understand the value of things, to grow up without the weight of entitlement. That mindset, especially compared to some other royals, is refreshing. Remember, their current home, Adelaide Cottage, has only 4 bedrooms. Tight for a growing family, but not once have they complained in public. No cryptic digs in interviews, no thinly veiled book chapters, no resentment. Just quiet perseverance. And the public notices. Now, contrast that with Harry and Meghan's handling of Frogmore. From the beginning, complaints rolled in about the house. Too small, not prestigious enough. Meghan even disliked the name Frogmore because it sounded unroyal. The $3 million taxpayer-funded renovation came and went, only for the couple to walk away. The reimbursement only happened under pressure, and the optics were disastrous. Meanwhile, Harry's life in California seems riddled with financial strain, flopped projects, and ongoing legal battles. Between lawsuits against the press and even the British government, millions have been drained. Hardly a picture of peace or stability. William, on the other hand, is preparing for the future. He's thinking about legacy, about a monarchy that can withstand modern scrutiny. His refusal to back King Charles's rumored peace deal with Harry speaks volumes. No forced reunions, no staged smiles. William seems to know you can't extend olive branches to someone who keeps burning the tree. And then there's Catherine. Graceful, steady, even while facing personal health challenges. She has carried out her duties without complaint, lived in modest homes without grumbling, and kept the focus on family and service rather than drama. It's no wonder she remains one of the most admired women in the world. So when the Wales family finally moves into Forest Lodge, it won't just be about a new address. It will stand as a symbol of independence, responsibility, and quiet strength. No grand palaces, no flashy entourages, no cries for attention. Just a family building something genuine, real, and lasting. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, as headlines praise William's humility and independence, Harry will likely respond with another speech, another grievance, another attempt to control the narrative. But the truth is, it no longer matters. The contrast is undeniable. One brother is rising, the other is ranting. And the crown? Well, it already seems to know exactly where it's headed.